Okay, so here I have the Kadus powder lightener mixed in with 20 volume, just like that. And so what I'm going to do is, this is my surface oil, the gold one. I'm just going to put a little bit, just like that. That's what I squeeze in there. And then I have the Redken pH bonder, always. So I'm going to put in 2, if I can grab it, 2 mil, just in like that. And then we just mix that all together and get it on our head. Okay guys, so this is going to be my sectioning for this color. And so the lightness you see at her ends is all her natural. She's actually never colored her hair before, which is amazing. We always love working with virgin hair. So what I'm doing is I'm sectioning 2 sections in the front and then 1 in the back, per usual. And what I do here is I take from the corner of the ear all the way up to, like, it's like a ½ inch of like that line right there. It just to where like the straight line across is connected, because everyone has that little divot in their hairline right around their temples. So I just connect it, and I'm doing these 2 sections as like their separate thing. So the one right above the ear, like the sideburn area, and then just that big statement piece right in front where her part meets. And I do the same thing on the other side so it's even. And I'm just weaving and then teasing a little, and then going in with my Framar paddle and with my Framar 4 oils and just coating that in lightener. And I'm using their like their little paintbrush thingy, and this looks like this video is sponsored by Framar, but it's not. I just got that package by them, and so I'm using all their stuff because it was free and I like it all, so that's why I'm using it. And I really do love this paddle. Like, it's amazing. It helps so much with balayage, especially with longer hair that can kind of get crazy. And so again, I'm just weaving that little section out. I'm teasing just a little bit just to create that diffusion, and then also going in with this paintbrush to diffuse the line even more. And I'm taking bigger like weaves, like they're fine weaves, but I'm taking a lot of hair with it because I want a lot of lightness, and just making sure that I coat it and saturate it completely with lightener. This is 20 volume again with Kadus lightener. I really like the Kadus because it's creamier. Like I'm used to use Lightmaster, and I still like it. Like, it does a really good job at lifting. It's just a little grainy. Like, as I've been using this Kadus powder lightener, I've noticed that the Lightmaster is a little bit grainy, and this one just is very, very creamy. And so yeah, I pretty much do the same thing, and you will see me, I might come back on and explain a little bit more when it gets to the back. But now, after I do those 2 sections, I just start going horizontal with maybe a slight angle up the side of her head with this front section, and then I'm going to do the exact same steps on the other side, and I will come back when I move to the back to explain a little bit more on what I do. Okay, so here we are in the back. I've got the front two sections done, and they're processing, and I'm going to section right above her ear. So I want to keep that dimension underneath because she still wants to be natural, so I want to keep a lot of dimension under there, which is her natural hair. So I'm just taking sections here, splitting it in two, again doing the same thing, weaving and teasing, getting a foil onto my paddle, and I'm going to start it a little bit lower than I would on the top section. So I'm starting lower just to make sure everything blends really nicely and looks really seamless, and really just making sure you saturate completely. This brush, it does great with blending. The pressure you have to put to actually make the brush saturate fully in the hair section is like, you have to put a lot of pressure and you have to use a lot of product because it's a very soft brush, and which is the point for the blending part, but when it comes to saturating, it's a little harder. So just make sure you're moving the hair around, getting everything coated completely in lightener so you don't have any splotchiness. Okay, she processed for about 20 minutes. I put her under heat the last little 5 minutes. If I'm using heat, I do it in 5-minute increments because I want to make sure I'm not over processing the hair. And I'm going to show you how I like to comb out teas. I get so many questions on how I do this because I've done it in a couple other videos and I've explained it, but still people ask me the same question, so I thought I'd put in a little bit of a longer clip of me actually combing out her whole head. Again, I try not to do tease on someone that I know is going to tangle really easily, so I pick the clients I tease wisely, because you don't want to be at the bowl for hours and hours. I've done that before and it's just a pain. So make sure you're picking the clients wisely on who you're gonna tease. Her hair is pretty fine. She does have a lot of hair, but it is very like silky to the touch. It's and straight, and so I knew it would be easy to brush out, so I decided to tease her. So what I do is rinse all the lightener, and then I kind of pull apart to find the sections again, and then I take my Redken pH bonder step 2 and I run this all over the tease sections mainly, and then bring it down through the lightened ends. It'll get down there as I bring the brush through, but I mainly want to start with the tease because that's the part I'm trying to detangle. So I didn't towel dry it because I don't want this to dry into the hair and make it harder. And then what I do is I just take my wet brush and you just start from the bottom and you just comb out each section. You don't want to like take all of the tease at once. You want to go by the sections that you made when you were putting the lightener on, because you don't want to tangle the hair even more into other sections. So just take each individual section that you did, start from the bottom, and gently comb out, and it should come out pretty easily. You don't want to tease crazy amounts because then, guys, again, it's going to take you so long. So just make sure you're using your professional opinion. Be wise about who you choose to tease and who you choose not to tease, because this will save you time and essentially money in the bowl. So yeah, it's really simple. You want to keep the hair wet so it slides right out, and you want to put a good amount of that, either conditioner or your step 2s or whatever you're going to be using. You can use conditioner, you don't have to use step 2 of Redken, but that's just the thing that I use in my lightener, and I need it to sit on the hair anyways, so might as well brush it through and let it really sit on the hair while I comb out the tease. But yeah, you can use, like, if you use Olaplex, you can use step 2 Olaplex. If you don't use anything and you just use conditioner, you can use a conditioner. Sometimes I'll use my Goldwell, the Blondes and Highlights conditioner, because I know it's so silkening and soft and makes everything soft. So just something that's very like slippery. That's what you want to use. And you can also, but if it's not coming out as easy as you thought it would, you can pull the tease like sideways apart to just kind of like spread it out a little and loosen it so it's not as tightly bound at the top of her scalp, and that'll make it a little bit easier too. So yeah, that's how I do my teasing, like brushing out my tease. So just keep watching, and then I will come back on and explain what I'm using for toning. So this is kind of how I have my shades set up. So I like to put the tone right on the top just because it's easier to organize this way. And then I just kind of go through and look to see which ones I want, which I really want to do 8N, and I think I'm going to do like a 7P. So I have 8N and 7P, and I'm going to mix equal parts of those with processing solution. So then I added a little bit of clear, just a little tiny bit, and processing solution, and so this is kind of what my shades looks like. It's more of like a jelly consistency, so let's go put it on her head. some photos of the end result. It was just this beautiful, natural looking balayage, and I loved it so much. I wish it was on my head. Thank you guys so much for watching and supporting, and also thank you to whoever has supported Kate in her starting of her YouTube channel. That's amazing. And yeah, so I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!